Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to this game's tutorial. This is a very nice tower. What we do in this episode is we fix two things. The first one being some total playtime bug we had. And we also change all of our really complicated strings, or big numbers, into something more readable. So as you can tell, over here we have 10,000 rocks. So it says 10k instead of saying the whole 10,000 thing. We also have the millions, as you can tell down here, sell for 2.24 millions. We now convert our gold to that as well, so let me just sell something so you can have a look. This is the amount of gold we have. We have pretty much everything in the game is now changed and readable, more readable at least. And that's pretty much what we do today. So we create a function just to change all our big text into something readable, and we also fix a total playtime thingy. So without further ado guys, let's get started. Alright, so today we do something really cool. So we changed a little bit of visual in the game. It's the last debug episode, for now at least, but we start tackling a little bit of visual effect thingy. Not really effect, sorry. We just simplify our text, basically. So, before end, I said I was going to cover the total playtime bug we have. Now, if you don't know what the total playtime bug we have is just assume that we are going in a game, any game, research, we go over here, we do a boost morale, and then we go back and we re-enter the game. As you can tell, a boost morale is higher than the actual capacity, not capacity, but duration, the real cooldown. So it's just a really messed up thing. So if I do rewarded add for gold, I go back, play this again. As you can tell, our reward add is actually active, and that's kind of messed up, so we need to fix this. And after debugging a bit, I realized that our total playtime is not being updated properly. And that's because we broke something when we redid the save. So we're gonna head over to the tower and just add something in our, whoops, what's that? And add something in our save function. So the value we pretty much broke is the playtime since save. We're not really using it anymore, so we need to start doing that again. This is going to be done in the get save string function, if I can find it. Where is the get save string? Okay, over here. So in the get save string function, just above the last save, make sure it's above, it's not below, we're going to do playtime since save is equal to total playtime. Now let's give it a quick look. Hopefully that's all we need to fix this. So we go in this game, we use boost morale, go back, and it actually works now. Good times. And our speed right now is actually minus 0.25, so let's actually fix that really quickly. The way we're going to do this is by simply going in the preloader scene. We have the tower, and then below the boost morale script, we have a attack speed modifier of 0.5, which is a little bit too much. We're going to put that on 0.2. So the maximum speed you could have is 0.05. It's not actually below 0, because below 0 makes no sense. Right, so we've done this. It's a really good thing done. And there's another thing, another problem that would come up when we played, is just take a look at this right here. We have the research completed, so that's the tradesman research. However, a rock is still worth 50, a silk is still worth 100. This should be worth, I think it's 10% more, so this should be 220 right now. The reason this doesn't work is because we don't update our bit array, our research bit array. Well, we do update it, but we update it before loading the save game, and that's actually a little bit useless. So what we're gonna do is over on, where do we do that? Bit update research manager. I can't really remember where exactly we do this. Maybe it's inside of the tower script in the start. Oops, research manager. Oh, there it is. So we do it even before loading. So what we're going to do is take this line. This line we could leave it there if you wish. I'm just going to cut it since it's not being useful anymore. I'm currently in the tower script, so tower.cs in the start function. And we're going to be putting it inside the load from string function. At the very end, where we do all of that kind of good stuff we started doing in the last few episodes. So we rescale the tower, we calculate the camera offset if we're in the menu, and we also update the research bit array, which should actually toggle the bit on for the tradesman research. And as you can tell, it did. Now this is 220, and my research is completed, just so you know. Now if I just reset my game, let's just make sure it's not completed either way. So reset save, confirm, yep, go into game, and let's just get a quick loot. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't play on the artist difficulty. Okay, let's just try to get a simple loot, and it's back to normal values. Okay, so that's very good. Now on to the second part of the video, the more interesting part, where we actually do some visual stuff. We need to actually find a place where we can declare a static function, or we could put it inside of the stat container. I'm not sure. What I'm trying to create here is just a function that is going to take in a int as a parameter and just transfer it into a an actual string. So we could either do it in the stat container and have a really long call, or you could create a static script. We're getting a little bit of crowd with the script. Okay, so I'm just going to take the stat container, not stat container, sorry, the stats helper, which is here, and I'm going to declare a function somewhere in it, and just put it at the very end, right? So at the very end of this, I am going to create a public string function, so it's going to return a string that we're going to call to string. That doesn't work. Big int to string. Nah, okay, let's just do to readable. Readable. That sounds great. Okay, so int value. Okay, so let me explain to you what this is going to do really quickly. What I want this to do is, say we have this number for our gold. Well, this is what? This is 10, 100, mil, this is a million, right? So instead of typing it like this in the game, I want it to say 1M. As simple as that. And let's say it's like 100,000. Then I want it to say 100K. So let me quickly write an algorithm for that. We're just going to take the value as a string first. So string s is equal to value.toString. And then let's just say if value is bigger than okay, let's go with 6 nines, which is 999,000. If it's bigger than that, that means it's above a million. It's a million or above a million. Then we do s is equal to s.insert. We're inserting at the index s.length minus 6, because there's 6 digits in here. We're going to put a comma or a dot, depending on whichever you like the most. I'm going to put a dot. So I'm putting a dot right here, and then we can have a number on this side. After that, I will remove some digits so that it's not as long. So s is equal to s.remove s.length minus 4. So let's start removing 4 of those digits. So we're going to keep 2 afterwards. So say we have 1,500,000 something, it's going to be saying 1.50. Then s is plus equal to m, the character. Alright, that works for everything that is above a million. Let's move on to the next one. That is going to be, let's just say above 10,000, or 10,000 and above. So else if value is bigger than 999, I'm not Hitler, s is equal to s.remove s.length, we're removing 3 characters, and then s plus equal k. That should be pretty much all we need in here, actually. Let's just return s, so in case it's not any of the above, it's simply going to return a value to string. I will quickly test this out before we head over in the game, so I'll go to my tower, the tower function, and somewhere in the update, if I can find my update, I'll just, you don't have to do this, I'm simply doing it really quickly. So if input.getKeyDown if I press on the key A, it is going to do a debug.log, oops, stats helper instance readable to readable, and say we are trying out with the number 10,000 something. So it should scrap the 500 and just say 10k. Oops. And it does type in just 10k. Now let's go with something a little bit bigger. So 178k. And it works. Now one more digit, just to try out the millions. And it also works, so good times, and just a few more, just for, you know, trying out stuff. Alright, this is perfect. So we have this, going to remove my test, and we're going to start implementing this. Now, it has to be implemented at few places, not every places of course, because there are some places where we actually use this value to do stuff in code and we can't really convert. We can't really parse that value once it has letter in it. So the cell for amount is going to be parsed. This amount right here is going to be parsed. The available gold, of course. Now, the level won't be parsed, however, the gold cost to the next level will be. Over here we have nothing, nothing here. We're not parsing the text, I mean the time. And now in the game, these three values, of course. The damage value down here. The gold value I'm currently clicking on. And finally the currency tab. So yeah, we got quite a few. Let's start with the first one. The first one I think I said is the loot menu container. So I am currently in the loot menu container.cs, and we're gonna look for every toString that we have to change. First one being this guy. So loot amount.text is equal to, we remove the toString and we wrap all of this inside a stats helper.instance to readable. And of course, semicolon. Alright, I'm going to copy all of this and we're just going to move on. So the text, that's good. The cell button text, cell 4, and we need to put this inside of our call as well. Oops. Like so. What else do we need to do inside of the loot? Not here, not here. Convert doesn't have to be broken. Okay, I think we've got pretty much all we need inside of the loot menu container. The next one would be the tower stats container. Where is it at? Tower stats container. There it is at the very end. Panel gold text. This is obviously something we need, so I'm going to put stats helper.instance to readable, remove the toString, update container. That's good, that's good, that's good. Level, we don't parse that. The gold text, same thing as always, the gold text has to be parsed. So to readable, we remove the toString. Good times. Level up now. Panel gold text, again, same thing here, so I'm going to paste this, remove the toString. And we should be good right now for these values. Actually, there's one more way we can modify the gold inside of the tower stats panel. It's inside of the hub object tower stats. Don't forget about this one. It's a really sneaky one. We'll just put it here. So remove the toString again. And here we go. Now if I hit play and I just have a look at this hub scene, see if everything looks good now. I'm going to cheat. Head over to, let's start again. So we've got 9999 rocks, that's good, it's selling for 500k. Let's just add some more rocks to this, and as you can tell, it's now on 10k. And we can't really see the value, but that's fine, because if you have 10k rocks, then I mean, there's something wrong, or you should sell. Now, if you have 10k unicorns, it is going to look very, very small, but I don't know how that can happen. So, yeah, okay, back to the tower stats right now. 999k, that's good. We buy stuff, it goes down. As you can tell, you now need this much gold to buy a level, which is perfect. Let me quickly go to some higher number right now. So, gonna sell all those unicorns, and this, and this, and this, why not? And try to buy some level until it looks really messy. Going to zoom in a bit. And it just keeps incrementing all the time. So, as you can tell, the most expensive level you can buy is going to cost you about 16 million. Good times, okay. Here we don't need anything, we don't need anything down there either. And we're now back in the game, okay. Now, as far as the game goes, we need to change the loot container. Let's start with the loot container, that's the simplest one. In the loot container, we have these two texts up here. So the amount of loot we have. ToString, we remove the ToString, just amount. And then loot ToString, we keep this because that's the name of the actual loot. It's not an int, it's actually just a name. And what's in there? That's the price, so we're gonna put that here to readable. Remove the ToString. Good times. We also remove an extra set of parentheses that we didn't need. And that seems fine. We don't need to do anything else down there. Next one would be the stat container. Do we have that somewhere? The stat container right here. And stat container. That's good. Oh, the get price. So get price stat level. Do we do a ToString on this? I don't think we do a ToString. Oh wait, it does a ToString automatically because we're actually using an int and we do a plus string, which in the end converts it into a string. So we're only going to parse this very first section right about there. This way it does string plus string. And then if we keep going down there, get stat value. The stat value also need to be parsed because you might end up with some really messed up damage stat. So this is done. Do we have any other ToString in here? I don't think we do right now. And okay, so that's good. Now we need to actually change the game UI quite a bit. The game UI is the one that has all the currencies we see at the very top, I think. So let's just do a ToString search. Okay, so right here, update currency tags, they all need to be changed. So I'm going to use my Alt, just paste this in front and remove all the ToStrings at the end. There we go, good times. And I'm wondering, do we need anything else? Maybe the HP would be good, but I'm not quite sure if it's worth doing so right now. Because I'm wondering, how many HP can you get in the end? What's the maximum amount of HP you can get? And does it not fit inside of the bar? I really can't tell. So we have an error right here. Alright, so what I'm going to do down here is I'm going to take this whole toReadable function and I'm just going to duplicate it down there and I will do a float instead. So same exact thing goes on, it's just that this one takes in a float as a value and it's literally the same thing. We don't even need to bother about this. I don't even think so, at least. Now we can go ahead and just make this a template function and like take in two different kind, but I really don't want to do this. So anyway, is my bug fixed? It should be, technically. I think it is. Let's have a look in the game what else we need to change now because I lost track of what I had to do. So the currency does change. The value down there did change, as you can tell. We do 12k damage And I've just got my answer. So you've got a maximum of 12k HP in the end, so I don't think we really need to parse the hit point bar. I'm talking about the value on top here. I think we can just leave it like that, because 12k is definitely going to fit inside of this bar. Alright, so here we go. We have the hit point right here. That does make sense. That doesn't seem to be too big of a number, and it does fit in here. And as you can tell, we still get the value down here, and the float are still working fine, even though we're parsing them in the same exact function. As you can tell, they still work fine. And what else could we be talking about next? I don't think there's anything, actually. That's a really nice tower, by the way. We might have to do some modifying with the whole resizing of the thing. So yeah, I'm going to end on this note, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you liked it. If you have any comment or question, you can leave them in the comment section below. Also support us on Patreon if you feel like it. That would be great, actually. And guys, thanks a lot for watching again, and I will see you in the next one.